This takes a moment to set up. Okay, we are ready to go.
Sarah, I can't help but say it, but you look like you're pretty cold. Your screen's kind of blue. It looks like you're frigid up there up in the north. My hands are cold. It was 12 degrees. Oof. Went out for a walk this morning. It was 12 degrees. This is PV. Your background even looks cold.
I'm gonna switch it with Victoria's shirt color, something nice and bright and warm like that. That would be great. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Interpreter Licensure Committee meeting. This is our meeting on January the 7th. It is now 2:06 p.m. in the afternoon, and we are ready to begin. So, Katie, could we have a roll call, please?
Yes, we'll begin with ACDHH staff. First is Carmen Green Smith.
Here.
Emmett Hassan.
Here.
Victoria Vaughn.
Here.
Okay, and now we'll move to ACDHH commissioners.
It's very hard to hear you, Katie.
Okay, I will speak more directly. I apologize.
That's okay.
ACDHH commissioners. Sarah Benton.
Here.
Commissioner Sue K. Neifel.
Here.
Commissioner Rick Vanover.
Here.
Commissioner PV Chance.
Here.
Okay, that concludes our roll call.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, the committee chair's report. I do not have anything to report today. The next thing is the licensure unit updates. Maybe office staff. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Commissioner Benton. This is Carmen here. I'm having a fit because I can't see everybody. So I'm having to join by phone. So I'm really frustrated with my technology right now. Can you see me okay?
Yep, sure can.
Okay, and appears that you can hear me all right. I'm seeing the caption,
yes.
Captioning. So what I wanted to do just very briefly was just have both Emmett and Victoria just kind of give a brief summary of issues that they've been working on recently. And we're kind of covering the window of July up until this current time, July being the beginning of our fiscal year. Some of that information you've already seen in the full board reports. So for Victoria and Emmett, you can be brief since we do have a quorum established, but I would like for Emmett to talk some briefly about the CDI interpreter issues that he's been working on. And then Victoria can talk a little bit about the applications, the number of applications we've received over the last couple of months and just how things are going with processing. So I'm gonna turn this over to Emmett at this point.
Okay, thank you so much, Carmen. I do have a few updates, but because we have a quorum here, I'll focus mostly on that CDI survey that we are conducting. Let me look at my screen here, bear with me. The report was completed in November 18th. And we did go over some ideas on how to get a feel for whether or not there was a need for a CDI program or not. We were in talks with Phoenix College, and we had assistance from individuals there to get their perspective on the history of running a program, and that discussion did help us develop some survey questions. And let me pull up the actual summary. We had about 25 individuals who participated in the survey, which is a pretty good number, and it ran from September 29th through November 1st. So that is the time period we conducted the survey. And overall view of the data showed, based on my analysis of the data and the comments that were collected, that there is a need for a certified deaf interpreter training program. And there may also be a need for long-term workshops, like weekend workshops that would go between 6 months to 1 year versus an actual semester style approach to a program. It seemed that individuals seem to prefer those longer weekends over a longer period of time rather than a semester. And there were also some other ideas from individuals about developing tests or trainings for certified deaf interpreters. Also, individuals were wondering if the state would be able to pay for the written and performance exams. And there was also comments from individuals saying that if they were able to take the training, then their testing costs would be covered in order to expand the pool of certified deaf interpreters here in the state of Arizona. And the last point is that there was a consideration from RID and CASLI announcing their new test, which was ready on January 1st. However, the issue is the testing materials out there are not quite ready. And so that's where we are with those discussions. And so I'm happy to have a conversation about the survey results with commissioners. And the hope was that on January 12th, we will be having another meeting with Phoenix College to go over the results of the survey and to get further thoughts and direction on where to go from here. And that pretty much concludes my update.
Anyone have any questions for Emmett? Can you clarify, Emmett? Can you just back up? I was trying to take some notes, but when you said that if they paid for a training, then the commission was going to cover the cost of the testing, or can you clarify what you were talking about as far as the cost of training and the cost of the test?
Sure. Instead of developing a test or a specific program, because there's a cost involved with that, because there's a testing system already in place, the commission would then just pay a stipend for the test, whether it be for the written or performance exam, rather than paying to develop a test or a training here in Arizona. And it's similar to the NIC written test thing that we did back in 2005, where we paid for 500 interpreters to take the written test. It'd be a similar thing to that.
Gotcha. That'd be great. And again, CCC is the site in the state that is open once all the materials are ready, but we are prepared to offer the CDI test as well.
That is good to know.
All right, thanks, Emmett. So we'll switch over to Victoria just to briefly talk about applications. I know there's a flood.
Yes. So applications, this fiscal year, we have had, including renewals and initials, we've had around 420 applications. And so out of that number, we have issued 95 new licenses. So those are initial applications. And then out of that 95, 79 of them are VRI or out of state. So about 83% of our initial applications are for VRI.
Thank you, Victoria. I know that there'd been some questions in the past from some of the committee members wanting to know about how many folks were out of state, how many were in state. So you can see it's been a very busy time. So are there any questions related to Victoria's update?
No, I mean, I'm always amazed every time I go through the list of how many are out-of-state VRI. Yeah, I'm always so excited when I see a provisional person come through the system. But yeah, thank you for, I mean, I can only imagine that it's a result of all of the increase in VRI work that interpreters are doing now and everybody coming out of the community and going online. So, yeah.
Great. Okay, the next item, if you want us to keep going with our report, would be the emergency rulemaking. We have received permission from the governor's office to be able to do an emergency rule related to the legal aid interpreters and the provisional interpreters. And a lot of it is centering around the impact of COVID. We are working with our assistant AG and trying to look at solutions for that. If you all will remember, back in our meeting in May, we talked about the 120-day extension that individuals could receive to be able to allow them additional time for testing, just like it is for any missing information in an application. And of course, we continue to do that, but we're at the point now, because of the limited testing, that we're having to enter into the emergency rulemaking phase. So we can try and make sure there is as little negative impact as possible to the public and to the profession. So you will hear more from us as we continue to work with our assistant AG on those challenges and things that we may be facing as it relates to testing barriers or any other impacts related to COVID. So wanted to see if you all have any questions about that, but this just basically an update that we're kind of still in a holding pattern and trying to figure out the best approach to take for that.
So are we not at the point where we would be looking to individuals with legal aid for any input yet?
Not at this particular time. We would do that once the process is in place, once the process begins. There are different strategies for the emergency rulemaking and then for the proposed rulemaking. But at this point, we are not. We're basically just working on the emergency rule language that buys us time to do something more permanent that would address that issue. And in one of the processes in the proposed rulemaking package, there is an opportunity for 30-day written comment session and an oral comment session. So we're not quite there, but we'll certainly keep you posted as we make progress with the initial formalities.
Super, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you for all the work that you guys are doing. The next item, number 5 on our agenda, is the review and approval of the sign language interpreter licensure applications. So we will need a motion to approve the list of applicants. The fun part, I know. Don't all jump at once.
This is Commissioner Vanover. I'll let the interpreter sign the names. I move.
So Richard, your volume went off. Yep.
Sorry, I move that we accept Noah Burlove, Paul Burt, Stephen Birch, Rebecca Blitch, Brenda Byers, Christopher Costa, Sandra Dieter, Denise Draper, Chad Edmonds, Dana Fekovics, Sylvie Flores, Bethany Ham Whitfield, Mark Harris, Diana Coxey, Kutsky, Candace Lassiter, Beakree Lee, hope I got that right, Lindsay Lee, Angelina Nielsen, Phyllis Pinkard, John Roos, Gina Stokesbury, Kendra Thompson, Lindsay Wiegand, and Katie Young.
And Commissioner Jantz seconded. Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor of the 24 names put forward, please indicate by raising your hand. Opposed? Abstained? Thank you. Motion carried. Okay, are there any announcements? I would just like to clarify, so just so you guys are aware, there were 17 in that group of the 24 who are out of state BRI. So there were 4 in-state new license, 1 legal, which I was excited, but it was an out-of-state legal person, and then 2 provisional Bs in-state. So that's a lot of out-of-state folks that are obviously good, following the rules that they need to have a license in order to provide services in the state. So, but thank you. That's a lot for you guys. Are there any announcements or anything? Emmett?
Yes.
Mhm.
Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me now?
Mhm.
Okay. Just a really quick announcement that Arizona RID, ASRID, and ACDHH has a collaboration. RID, Arizona RID, and ACDHH have collaborated together. Sorry, our pictures are moving around. And the Region 5 reps, Crystal
Sanders.
reached out to me and Dustin, the other name?
I believe it was Carolyn Ball.
Yeah, on the regional level, had reached out to us and just kind of want to discuss and see how we can kind of help revive Arizona RID and get that back up and running. So we had some brainstorming and set up a town hall meeting through Zoom to be able to see how RID on the national level can get involved and help the Arizona local interpreters to have something going. So we're working on that and should be meeting January 21st, but we actually postponed it until February. So there'll be an announcement through their communications through RID. Once I receive that, then I'll put that out for you. So just wanted to keep that on your radar so you keep an eye out for that, because we are trying to get that back up and running and active and have been for quite some time. So just wanted to let you know. Thank you all for letting me make the announcement.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. That's good news. Wonderful. Any other announcements? Anything else? Okay. Well, thank you for your time. And thank you to everyone in the office or in your homes, in your wherever you are, for all the work that everyone is doing to keep the show going. And thanks to the interpreters for your work as well. Okay, everybody, be safe. It's 2:24 and we're ending the meeting. Do I need a formal motion to adjourn? Thank you. I'll stay warm.
And stay warm.
Suke is moving that we adjourn. Okay.
And I second it, Richard Vanover.
Multiple seconds. Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.